and swift.
Round 2, India versus Pakistan in the Super Fours of the Asia Cup on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Matchday, powered by JBL. Let's not talk about the weather for some time. Let's assume that the unthinkable happens and we actually get a full game of cricket, and Urooj Mumtaz will answer the key questions surrounding Pakistan. Urooj, they've announced, as is customary now, their 11 on the eve of this game. We know Fahim Ashraf will play. Firstly, give me your thoughts on that, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around this very confident approach of announcing your 11 even before a big game against India. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think primarily just them announcing their 11. Again, I think the word confidence consistently goes with that, so that you sort of know your plans. I think it was Babar in a press conference yesterday who said that people might assume that we are sort of lost, or we have a single track mind, or we're confused, but we're clearly not. We look at situations, venues, and then we compile our team. So I think that's where Pakistan's moved ahead. I think credit to Mickey Arthur and team for, I'd imagine, pushing that through, because that's the only change that has come about in the past few months with the team. So that's a really good sign. And thoughts with the team, again, I think it's a better combination because we saw Nawaz struggle with the ball. We've discussed that length, that Fahim Ashraf is probably the only quick bowling all-rounder we have that provides that batting number at 8. So I think it's a good side to go. And I think somewhere along the lines, yes, it's a big match, but it's also dress rehearsal for World Cup, not just for the India game, but many more games to come, that the fourth quick bowling all-rounder will become a key.
Yeah, I take your point on Fahim, and I think it was unexpected lines. But on that first point, I think you're receiving this, announcing the squad quite well. Tell me if at all there is any disadvantage to it from an opposition point of view. What if India now have a day to just think of, okay, there's going to be no left-arm spinner, the batters can just tune in, or anything that you sense there's merit? Because I know there are former players who say, yeah, why reveal it on the eve if it gives any kind of advantage to your opposition?
I think where Babar comes into this, or the team management of Pakistan comes into this, is about like, well, we're going to play our strengths. And if we stick to our strengths and deliver our plans and execute them well, most often than not, the process will lead into victory. I think that's where the mindset is also when you become team world number 1, you're sort of trying to overarch that umbrella onto a bigger scale, given the Asia Cup leading into the World Cup. I think it's more about stamping authority more than anything else. I do get what a lot of former players say, like, why give away, the composition and allow for the other team to act to your or react to you. But I think somewhere along that lines, the other team is reacting to your 11 as opposed to sticking to their strengths then. So I really don't find a bigger drawback. I just find that it's more about them believing in their plans and their 11 and wanting to then execute and then obviously see where the result ends up.
Okay, brilliant. Let's talk about Babar Azam, shall we, Urooj? We know that Shaheen, Naseem and Haris against India's top order is a big contest here. But from what we saw in the last game, what would you like to see different after that? We saw India come back into the game as a result, by and large, of Babar's tactics of bowling a lot of spin. Would you like to see something different tomorrow? I guess we'll have to, given it's just the one spinner. But what would you like to see from Babar, the captain?
Yeah, again, I mean, look, see, I think Babar had again one hand stuck behind or tied behind his back because of Shadab not being in form. And we've seen that throughout the Asia Cup. Yes, he did pick up one match and he picked up 4 wickets, but we've seen in the big games, his length has been not up to the mark. It's either been, again, too full or too short. So his fourth bowler, who's obviously a match-winning all-rounder in his own right, isn't quite up to the mark. And Nawaz wasn't as well. So in that case, he was almost stuck with where he utilizes his quick bowlers. I am of the philosophy that you deliver the knockout punch when it matters and when you can, because big teams don't allow you back in the game. And that's exactly what Hardik Pandya and Ishan Kishan's partnership did the other day. Things will be slightly more different because, again, Fahim Ashraf is more the stock bowler who can probably bowl you those 5, 6, 7, 8 overs if required, if he's going, because he's consistent with that length at that mediocre 130, 135 Ks. But if the batters do get on top of him, then he's still got Agha Salman and Iftikhar with the off-spin option. And I do know that if Ishan Kishan plays, he'll probably be the only left-hander in that till Jadeja. But that might be the fifth bowling combination of the offies and Fahim together. And then Babar will heavily be relying on Shadab to still complete his 10 and do a good job at it. So I think that's one place where Pakistan is slightly undercooked, that combination. And it is their best 11. But the bowling combination for that fifth/sixth bowler needs to come into some sort of bowling form.
Shadab's bowling, I guess, Urooj, is still one of the unchecked boxes as Pakistan built to the World Cup. From what you've seen of him, what does he need to do to just find that mojo back?
Yeah, I think at this level, it's not about so much the skill. It's more about where you are in your mental headspace. I think, and it's about just when you're tensed up, you sort of grip the ball too hard, and you sort of bang into the pitch. It comes out too short. When you try to give it air, it's not coming out correctly, and it ends up in full toss or just a very full length, which is drivable. So I think for Shadab, it's more about probably just getting back into the nets with the bowling coach, just trying to get a feel of where the ball's coming out from his hand, just getting a few good overs in. Maybe in bowling a 10-over spell. I know it's too much, but just that, because leg spin bowling is probably the most difficult of the spin bowling arts. And it's sometimes, and I say this from experience, when it's not coming out right from the hand, my God, it only gets worse. So I think that's what it is. And at this level, it's more about getting a few good overs in. I know India will be a big pressure game. I think Shadab needs to sort of forget everything that's happened in the past, trust his skill. He's done it time and again for Pakistan. And that box, if it, like you said, if it gets checked for Babar, that's good 40 overs out of the 50, and that becomes a very big force to reckon with Pakistan's bowling attack.
All right, we have 2 days to try and see if we get a result. The privileges that India and Pakistan enjoy, I must put on record, because of the hosts, of course, the PCB wanted to make sure there's a reserve day, and you know how Indian cricket doesn't ever say no to them, Urooj. So now, all the mischief aside, give me a prediction for this one.
Prediction if the match is going to happen or who's going to win?
If the match happens and if we get 70-80 at least overs of cricket, from what we saw in the last game too, we were deprived of what could have been a very interesting second half. But Pakistan favourites, you think?
Yeah, look, see, I think it's a difficult one. If you play out the full 50 overs and if it goes at one stretch, I think India is slightly ahead. Again, because of their depth in that batting at that number 8 position with Hardik, Jadeja there as well. So I just feel if the full length of the 50 overs goes, India probably slightly ahead. Any shortened game slightly, Pakistan probably in there.
That's very, very astute. Thank you very much, Urooj Mumtaz. We will have her on what should be match day or match days for India versus Pakistan. So look forward to your company then on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Match Day, powered by JBL.
Stunning looks, then swift,